I want to get to the process and procedures, and that is the how.
So this is basically about how
Yep.
we are
Now this is the how are we gonna do
governing
it.
the data. How we are governing the data.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we want to be able to identify in these swim lanes, like how are we setting this up, but the specifics of this, and because I'm using Excel because I need a universal application, what we're doing and how we're doing this and when we will have it done shows up on the front page swim lane, but then each one of these swim lanes have a tab with a leader assigned in order to move this activity, identify the responsibilities, and how we're going to go forward. Now, sometimes people want to break that into a sprint or do it according to each style of each organization and where in the organization that they sit. So that is the process and procedures that are going to be needed. So let's say we want to set up our profiling. How does someone ask us to reprofile a table? If I have a new project starting and I am on the analytics team, I want to start with a fresh profile. So I need a service desk request so that they can say, hey, will you reprofile? Or I need to allow them to push the button themselves. We'll work that out. And that's the process and the procedures. And that's why I love, love, love the data stories in OvalEdge. It allows me to frame out all of my process and procedures, make it transparent, integrated, and adjustable.
I think this is something that I want to a little bit dig deeper. So let's say that we have a data governance team. There are various processes we need to lay out for doing this. So the processes around, like, as you say, data quality, like reactive data quality. So what is the process around reactive data quality? What is the process around data ownership? What is the process around data profiling? Are you talking about these processes?
Yep. What is the process around collecting new data? So when we bring in new data, there is a service desk request that says, can you crawl this server? And when we crawl that server, we need to assign an owner and the DBA. And if it's an application, who's the application administrator? Then it goes to the security team. And the first thing they do before anybody gets access is scan it and protect the PII. Now I can open it up to the rest of the team. That process needs to be spelled out and repeatable. This is where you get chaos.
And also trained, because the people are not trained on it.
Right. And the training. And you're building it out soup to nuts in your data stories. So you're calling each other. I sent an email and asked you about that. When I get called into an organization to pull data governance out of the garbage can, it is right here on the screen right now. It's chaos, and it's in the process and procedures that is the most damaging. And so a lot of what I do is help organizations back into their framework once they've got it up and running and they've done a lot of great things. It's just that we skipped over framework, and now it's time that we address that. And then I feel like a rock star.
I think this is, if I see this this whole data governance program, it have the various procedures around that area. Like, again, at OvalEdge, we have the pre-configured tools and services kind of laying out that program simply, but you need to adjust them. You need to make the workflow based on what fit in your organization, right? Whether the PII data need to be protected by a security team or whether it needs to be protected by a compliance team. Like there can be some sort of a workflow changes and can happen around the thing. Or you need a 2 approval or 1 level of approval or whatever the changes are.